Well, look who's back. Yes, it's us. That's Cody Gough, Brian Noonan. This is Realities May Vary, the show that wasn't here last week for so many reasons, but we're here then. Nice to see you in front of your new red curtain. Is it new? No, that's the same red curtain.
It's the same red curtain.
I don't know. It's draped. Maybe it's draped differently.
It is draped differently, yes.
Okay.
Little drape makes a big difference, as they say in the biz.
I don't know what biz that's in. Maybe the curtain business?
The draping business.
The draping business. Sure, that makes sense. Makes sense. You look tanned and rested.
I thought you were going to say you look terrible, which is...
No, why would I say that? That's not a way to start a program, me telling you look terrible.
Could be.
We all know. We all know that's not true.
I don't...
Even though you're not one of the world's most beautiful people. Yes, I'm dragging that back up from 20 years ago.
Speaking of the world's most thing, have you watched? I have not watched a second of the Winter Olympics.
I've watched a few seconds of it. Okay. I watched a little bobsled, two-man bobsled last night. Almost watched one of the U.S. sleds crash. I watched a tiny bit of the biathlon, which is the cross-country skiing and shooting event. So I watched some of that. Not much. Haven't seen any ice skating. Haven't paid too much attention to it. I'm surprised they're still on. I don't remember I don't know how long the Olympics go, but no, I've watched, like, if I'm sitting down waiting to watch something else or waiting for Debbie to come in to watch something, I'll pop them on. And I do like the bobsled just because I think it'd be fun to ride in a bobsled.
Sure.
Till you try to go around one of those curves and then you flip it and you end up getting your body sliced in half by the razor sharp runners. And as you go careening down. Oh, I saw a little snowboard too. I saw Chloe Kim do a little snowboard action.
These all sound fun. And I don't know why. I was out of the country for part of it, but
yes,
I guess since I missed the start of it, I just kind of didn't ever.
Well, you're protesting the genocide games, aren't you?
Which genocide games?
That's what some people are calling this. I guess there's some Chinese genocide, and so people are not happy with the Chinese, as they rarely are.
Yeah.
So, that's it. Then there's a lot of complaints about the food from Olympic athletes, the way the athletes who are coming down with COVID are being treated. And so there's, what do you expect? You're in China. Things aren't going to be good.
There's always something to complain about. Little bit of genocide. Oh, can't handle that. Come on.
Yeah.
Grow a pair.
We got some games to play. I found it very interesting that I think it was yesterday or the day before, it was snowing so hard that they had to cancel the skiing events. They were supposed to be practicing for one of the ski events, but it was snowing too hard. I was like, I don't know a lot about competitive skiing, but I know what happens on the snow. So I didn't quite understand it.
On but not in. I mean, hockey.
Well, that's true.
Hockey's played on ice, but it's not played under ice.
That's not a good comparison at all.
No, it's not.
No, because I watched a hockey game in the snow, outdoor game in the snow.
Interesting.
Yes. I've also skied in the snow back when I was a youngster.
All right.
Did you know that? I used to go skiing every Sunday with my dad.
No.
Yes. My dad, I guess, skied before he got married. On their honeymoon, they went somewhere skiing, my parents. And then when I was a kid, I had my own skis with my name engraved in them. And we would go, this was back in the day of lace-up ski boots. This is how old I am, Cody. My ski boots were lace-up.
Wow.
And so were my dad's. And we would go.
What are they now?
They're somewhere in my mom's garage.
No. How are they secured today?
Now it's crazy high-tech latches.
I've never been skiing.
Oh, the thing where they clip and they they don't move. They're very high-tech now.
Right.
Back before it was very alpine-y. You just tie them up as tight as you could. Pray that your ankles didn't just snap off. It was crazy.
I can't believe you are a skiing connoisseur and you never even brought it up.
This was when I think the last time I went skiing was when I was in high school.
All right.
So my dad and I would go every Sunday to Valparaiso. They had this little ski area called the Pines. And we would go every Sunday, and he would drop me off at like ski school, or I'd be on the bunny slopes, and he'd go swooshing down the big hills, and then we'd get hot chocolate, and we'd drive home. And that was
That's
it.
awesome.
And
Way to
Debbie was a competitive skier in high school. She was on the ski team.
What?
Yeah, Debbie used to, till she wrecked her knee on a slalom course. She was a racer.
Wow. All I remember from 2nd grade through 4th grade probably is anytime someone walked into class and said, "Oh, I just came back from a ski trip," they were in a cast. Without fail. Without fail. Like, that's my only association with skiing is like, oh, the first time you go skiing, you necessarily have to break something. I'm not even exaggerating.
I never broke anything. We would go, because we would go like on the bunny hill and take a little class, and then you go and you learn how to snowplow and shoosh around. And now one of my brothers, he goes skiing all the time, and he goes skiing. He takes my nieces. They're little. They learned how to ski. Now it's a rich man's game going skiing.
Yeah.
Back then, you could be a jobber and go skiing. Just head up to Alpine Valley up in Wisconsin. That's where you'd go with your high school friends. You go skiing for the day, come home with all the, it was always fun to watch in wintertime back when the passes for the ski places, they'd hang them on your zipper on your coat. They'd put like a little metal hook through and then the sticker. So you'd see all these people with all these day passes hanging from their zipper. They were really cool. I was never that cool.
When you said the kids would go up and ski, you used air quotes.
Well, if you're in high school, you'd go up under the guise of skiing. Maybe you'd ski a little. Maybe you'd make out a lot.
Oh,
not me. I'd ski a little. Then I'd sit in a lodge and wish I was making out some opera ski activities, but I was never doing it. Hello to everybody who's joining us. We are glad you're here. So yeah, that was. How did we get on? Oh, because of the Winter Olympics.
Well,
so you still have some time.
Sure. It was certainly one way to get frisky.
What?
I don't know. Yes, sorry.
I don't know how that tied in at all. So
I derailed your intro with my lack of watching any of the Winter Olympics. But did I miss all the figure skating, though? That's all I really want to watch.
I have not seen a moment of figure skating. I'm not keeping up on the Olympics. I just know they're on NBC nonstop. So they were even during the Super Bowl. They were like, "Hey," because I don't know if the ratings are down or hey, don't forget, after the Super Bowl, which everybody in the world is watching, we're gonna have the Olympics on too. You could hang around. Maybe you could watch somebody spin on something or swoosh down something, or there'd be ice, or maybe I don't know, maybe a Jamaican will try to go down a slide. So they were really pushing it.
Yeah.
I did happen to see the Jamaican bobsled team the other night, though. The two-man Jamaican bobsled team.
Excellent.
Yes. Fantastic.
Excellent.
Do you watch any of the events and think that maybe you could do it?
Yeah, skeet shooting.
Oh.
Because you use a gun, right? Like
for skeet shooting, yeah.
But you gotta have steady hands, and I don't have steady hands.
Well, you gotta be a good shot, yeah.
Well, but I don't know. I've never shot a gun. Maybe I'm a really good shot. I'm probably a good shot. But
I found out after shooting, I'm a pretty good shot.
Yeah.
I could be lethal.
Yeah.
If I was packing. If I was walking down the street strapped, I'd be ready to go.
I mean, like, I've mostly entertained the thought of doing trying to become good at some Olympic sport. Because there's people in their 40s even that compete in some
curling. Curling looks like a sport that we could master.
Sure. The goal in my life would be to get in the Olympic Village, which is
free condoms.
All I care about. Every Olympics, all of my thinking of the Olympics is just superseded and dominated by thoughts of how all these athletes are basically in this weird sex utopia.
Yes.
Where the hottest people on the planet are all having sex with all the other hottest people on the planet. I don't know if it's as much for the Winter Games. I would guess, yeah.
Oh, it would have to be. I think it would be more because you want to get warm. You want to snuggle up. In the summer, everybody's hot.
Sweaty. Well, and I'm not saying it's because they wouldn't be as fit as the summer athletes, but like the Summer Games is, I guess it feels bigger. So you've got more of like a pool of, there's probably 5,000. I think I'm throwing out random numbers. 5,000 people all, itching to just get it on, right? Like, I don't know if the Winter Olympics compares in scale, but
probably not. But and the Summer Olympics, you got the beach volleyball people and the regular volleyball people and the gymnasts.
You got it all
with their splits.
You got it all.
Working your pommel horse.
Most of them are. All the gymnasts are underage, I think. I don't know that they're allowed to go into.
I don't know. I'm not talking about our gymnasts. I'm talking about like a Ukrainian gymnast who's 40.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, like a MILF gymnast. That's what I'm looking for.
I'm too into that thought experiment to focus.
Well, it's because every 4 years they tell us how many free condoms they're giving out at the Olympic Village. It's every news story. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna be giving out a bazillion condoms.
I'm not the only one thinking about this.
No, and everybody goes, well, gee, why else would you be giving out a bazillion condoms?
Yeah,
but then you know what's weird? For all the alleged hanky panky going on in the Olympic Village. We never every 4 years and 9 months have a huge outbreak of Olympian babies. It's not like after a blackout or after a blizzard where you go, 9 months after the blizzard, there was a big birth surge. We're not getting Olympian birth surges.
It's because they're giving away so many free condoms, Brian.
You think all the Olympians are participating in safe sex?
Somebody is doing something. In the chat, Marta said, I'm sure your wives are enjoying this conversation. I talk to my wife about this very thing every time the Olympics comes up.
It is no surprise that we're
every time. She knows on exactly where my head is at.
No, we're men. We think about that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, also I'm just thinking there should be more of an outbreak because like the Winter Olympians, they're all bundled up anyway. So you'd think when they finally get stripped down, they don't want to put another layer on. They're just like, forget it. And they're dangerous. You've seen the ski jump people. You think they worry about what the hell? They're not careful. They don't care. They're flying off a mountain on 2 sticks. And they're like, hey, you think I'm going to worry about, sex?
Yeah.
It's the least of my worries.
I don't know, man. Either way, I'm not participating in either that or watching them do anything. So frankly, I hijacked your intro. You're like, hey, welcome to the show. I'm like, how about those things I'm not watching? How about that?
Yeah, listen, you were hot. You had some hot takes. You're coming in hot. That's fine. I roll with it. I had a little info. I got some thoughts.
Speaking of hot, if anything breaks, it's because I'm on a new computer setup. I don't want to call it a brand new because it's not I don't think it's a brand new computer. I don't know. A friend sent me a computer to do work stuff because I'm helping him with some stuff. Okay. And I'm using that computer and we're going to see how it goes.
Well, so far you look good and you sound good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Same audio, it's webcam, same general setup, right? But like everything's plugged into a different device. So
all right. Well, so far it's holding up. We'll keep our fingers crossed. Yeah. So when did you get back in the country?
I don't know, Wednesday-ish, last week.
I need to know all about this because you've traveled. You traveled out of the United States of America. You left your bubble. Mm-hmm. You were out in God knows where doing God knows what. Where were you? Where did you go? I did see a picture of you in some brightly colored trunks.
So I have brightly colored trunks.
Your wife posted a picture of you and some other people in a tropical locale, and you were wearing brightly colored trunks.
That might have been. I have some brightly colored trunks. Yeah. My spouse was co-leading a yoga retreat in Puerto Morelos. It's about 20 minutes south of Cancun.
Ooh, wow.
So get into Cancun airport, hop on a little thing, about 20 minutes south. Tiny little kind of like fishing village, getting built up a little bit, but really not a lot. I mean, there's like a little stretch of their kind of downtown with a handful of bars. It's like a couple blocks long, maybe like 15 bars to choose from, tops. And quiet community around that. What do you see?
I'm looking at Puerto Morelos.
Yeah.
It is a quiet, Mexican port town on the Caribbean. That's what I was looking at. It looks lovely.
Yeah, it can't be more than a few thousand people there. I wouldn't imagine. So
population 9,188.
Boom.
But that was back in 2010. That's a while ago.
Still very tiny. And like, wait. So I've never been to Cancun or the Cancun area. Have you?
Cancun. No, I've never been to Cancun. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I was somewhere in Mexico. I can't remember a couple places, but I don't think it was
You're probably in
Cancun.
Tijuana.
I was in Matamoros.
Ooh.
Did I ever go to
Great
TJ?
Kafka story. Kafka wrote a lot about that.
About Matamoros?
Oh,
that's Metamorphosis.
yeah. Sorry,
I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
All right, I got you. Yeah, you caught me. No, I did some border towns when I was working in El Paso. I would go across to Matamoros. Then they set some embargoes because it got very, very dangerous in Matamoros for people. They were killing a lot of women there, and then they were killing a lot of guys there. They were killing a lot of everybody there.
Yeah, that's not good.
No.
Well, I went there.
So you're in Port-au-Prince or wherever you were.
So I'm doing Port. So she was leading she was doing the retreat for it was like Sunday through Saturday, right? So I flew in, I got in, I don't know, like Thursday afternoonish sometime. So I kind of like grabbed dinner with them and then kind of hung out like in the background. Like the retreat was basically like they'd all do yoga. I mean, you should see her itinerary. I'm just like, this is the job everyone should have. It was literally like do like yoga on the beach at 7 a.m. and then like hang out for 6 hours or do a day trip to like an underground cave or something like that. And then do yoga at the afternoon and then eat. And all the food there was like really good. It was all fresh. It was vegetarian. It was all fresh fruit and like fresh smoothies and like really good. There was avocado toast. Very it was great.
Wow, very authentic Mexican cuisine. It sounds like
super healthy, super chill. The people were awesome. They were all really nice. It was super nice.
But no meat.
What's that?
No meat.
Not at the house, but you could go eat any. You didn't have to have breakfast and lunch and dinner at the house. It was just provided, but you could go anywhere.
Okay.
So yeah, I did yoga with her the last day just because I could, and then Saturday we took a day trip to somewhere, some place,
somewhere,
got in the ocean or something. I don't know. We took a day trip to see some old Mayan ruins, which was very cool. Yeah. Not Chichen Itza. That was our original itinerary. I really wanted to go to Chichen Itza because it's like one of the wonders of the world. We went to a slightly closer Mayan ruins south instead of going, because if you go inland like 2 hours from Cancun, if you just go straight west, you get to Chichen Itza.
Oh, okay.
Which is one of the 7 wonders of the world, right? So, okay, like that would have been cool, but no, we went to a different ruin that was like very slightly less far south. We went past Tulum, which some people might be familiar with.
I am familiar.
Yeah, so we drove past Tulum, did that, checked out the ruins. It was really cool. Got in some water, got out of some water, drove back up, and then took a ferry over to Isla Mujeres, or the Island of Women.
Oh, really?
Actual literal translation. It's because back in the Mayan times, the Spanish noticed that women would just take boats to and from the island to pray to their gods and do like sacrifices or whatever, do the rituals and all that stuff. So it's where the women like would worship basically.
Yeah.
So it was an island of women. So we went there and we stayed there for a few days and mostly just sat around drinking and being in the sun.
So you were on the island of women for a couple days?
Yeah.
Was it filled with women or was it a misnomer?
Was it filled with women? No, not really.
All right. What about the woman from Ipanema? Did you see her?
She was, I believe she was in Ipanema.
All right. I'm not familiar with the region.
I believe that's in Hawaii, isn't it?
No. Ipanema is not in Hawaii.
I've literally always thought
close to Hawaii.
Ipanema was in Hawaii. No, where is Ipanema?
Ipanema, I believe, is in Spain.
Ipanema is
south zone of Rio de Janeiro.
Wow.
So I was close.
Neither of us were in the right hemisphere.
No, it was horrific.
Yeah, that was
bad.
That was rough.
Horrible. Isn't Ipanema in Brazil? Yes. Thank you.
Are we going to call this? Is this episode going to be titled "The Podcast from Ipanema"?
Yes. Long and tan. They probably had a ton of avocados available since the U.S. put a halt on Mexican avocados. Yes, the U.S. You're lucky you got all your avocado toast down in Mexico, Cody. You're not going to be able to get it here.
No, actually, someone was telling us there was some crazy avocado price surge down there. And maybe
Really?
that's because there's a halt of Mexican avocados coming up. So
Could
that means
be.
that down there they're super expensive. They were like, it was like $2 an avocado or something or more
Really?
at one point. Yeah. So
Couldn't you just
actually,
walk out somewhere and pick them right off the trees?
dude, no, word on the street was like, if you want to get avocados anywhere, like go for it. Cause like they are pricey right now
Really? That
in
was the word
Mexico.
on the street?
Hmm.
A lot of talk, a lot of avocado talk on the street when you'd go up to people. You'd say, "Hola, donde está avocados?" And they go, "Oh man, glad you brought this up on the street because we got things to say." You noticed my Spanish ran out very quickly.
It did. But you joke, but
I
many
do.
avocados are a hot topic. I think it's avocados are something that I think brings us all together. And when searching for a conversation topic, especially abroad, where you may not have things in common, like for
Sure.
example, I might say, "Hola,
Hola.
soy americano," which means I am Americano. I don't think that's correct, but I'll say that.
All
Then
right.
they probably, if they're most people around the world, are either
They hate you.
disgusted or just disgusted
they just-
generally or angry or want me to die. So like that's kind of where it stops. But if I come up
Why?
and I
Let me
say,
ask you this: Why? Yeah,
Mhm.
Why would you have even thought to start with that you were an American? Hi, I'm
Never.
an American. People
No,
go, "Who cares?"
if asked, I'd say I'm Canadian. I would say,
Oh,
yeah. That's not what they say.
that's not what
Oi,
Canadian.
eh?
Yeah, Canadian there, eh?
I hit
Gonna have a Labatt's Blue.
I hit two of the syllables. Have you been playing Wordle?
I wanted to talk about Wordle.
Oh,
I'm not as crazy about Wordle as you are. I have played it 4 times.
wait,
Each time I got it on the third line.
nice.
Boop, boop, boop. You know, I have a nice vocabulary. I don't use it often, but I have it. So yes, but I can't give over to getting addicted to Wordle. I don't have, because I almost want to quit while I'm ahead. You know, I'm 4 for 4 on 3. That's pretty good. Now, could I keep going? Sure, I could, but why? So I don't think about it often, but let me ask you this. I played it on my desktop. You know, I went to the website. So I can't, not that I would, but I can't post my boastful Wordle tweet or Wordle Facebook post like everybody else on the planet who plays Wordle.
Why not?
I don't know. Well, one, I don't want to. Two, I don't see a way from the desktop to post it,
Really?
like to share it. And I'm
I
not
didn't know
signing
that.
in for anything. I'm not getting all involved.
I didn't know that.
Do you Wordle?
I'm not addicted. I tweeted about that. You saw this. You always
I
see
love
everybody's
your
tweets all the
tweets.
time. You always see my tweets. I know you saw this. Every time I get on Twitter, the number one takeaway from going on Twitter is, "Oh, right, I forgot Wordle exists. Maybe I'll play it today."
That's,
So,
you know what? That's when I play Wordle. When I
Mhm.
see somebody tweet about it, and I'm not like in the morning because I'm going to school, but if I'm home in the afternoon or evening and I'm on the computer, I see it, oh, Wordle. All right, let me go in and see what I can do. And I go in, I go, haha, scored again. And then I'm done. I don't do a second Wordle. I don't think about it the next day. And that's just it. So how often do you play?
I've played pretty much every day for the last week or so, but I don't remember. Like, I don't keep track. And then when the little score box things comes up, I just close it. Cause like, right, I have played on my phone. If you like click on the link on there's like 2 different ways to access it on your phone. And I think it keeps track of your win-loss record differently. I have
Okay.
4 different computers in my apartment that I use regularly. Like, and so if I'm on a random one, I'll just like do it there. So like my scores are all over the place. I've done it on my I have an iPod Touch. I could do it on there. And then because it doesn't know, like you don't log in, right? It's just like you're on this device.
Right.
Whoever is on this device has this record, right? So like it's not consistent. I don't know what mine is. Mine is like I think I got a 2 one time. I think I got on a second try once.
Really?
And
Nice.
I might be making that up. But a few 3s, mostly 3s, couple 4s, couple 5s. Does it go to 6? Like,
No,
yeah, I don't know.
5 is it.
fun though. I think it's
now.
perfect,
What happens
right?
if you don't get it on 5? Do you get shocked? Does it send ransomware to your computer? What happens?
I've never not gotten it.
Well, you're smart.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of people who haven't gotten it. Have you now? Did you play it before the New York Times bought it? I was listening to some program, and they were complaining that now that the New York Times took it over, it's tougher, and they're repeating words or they're using different words on the same day. I don't know what's going on.
Weird. No, I did do it a few times. I caught on like a week before New York Times announced they were buying it.
Yeah.
And whatever, but it's fun. Go to world.uk or some garbage. I don't know. Just look for Wordle on the internet.
Yeah, just Google Wordle.
Fun little puzzle game. You can only play once a day because there's only one Wordle a day. It's just perfect. It takes you like 2 minutes. And
I heard somebody complain. That's what one of the complaints. This woman on the radio was saying that she and her husband played on the same day. They had different Wordles.
What's wrong with that?
Well, I thought it was supposed to be one Wordle a day. So we'd all have the same Wordle. Is this just another Words with Friends or another computer goofy thing that in about 3 weeks is going to blaze out and nobody's going to remember what Wordle is?
I don't know. I mean, I'll do it as long as it's interesting.
Yeah, I have no outrage against it. I don't want to seem like I'm contriving some sort of anger or outrage.
Mm-hmm.
It's just another one of those things that I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't really have time to sketch out a chunk of my life for it. But if it's there and I feel like doing it, I'll try it. The first time I had never done anything. I hadn't learned anything about it. So I was like, Tom says he keeps forgetting that you can use a letter twice. And it took me my first one, like the second line, I was like, oh, I can use these. Oh, okay. Now I can. All right.
Yeah.
So now we can rock it.
So it's kind of like the Winter Olympics.
Yeah, I catch it when I can. Pops in and out of my consciousness. I'm aware of it. No feeling one way or another. I'm okay with
I like
Wordle.
this is a good theme running through. Things we feel mediocre about.
Apathy.
Apathy
is the best medicine.
Did you watch the Super Bowl? I mean, the big game.
No, we could say the Super Bowl because we're not making money off it. I initially forgot that it was. Well,
no, you are the zeitgeist, Brian.
No, last Friday at school, one of the teachers said, "Hey, you watching the Super Bowl on Sunday?" And I went, "Oh yeah, the Super Bowl's on Sunday." I knew who was in it. I knew it was the Cincinnati Bengals, or are you an illiterate slob that says Bengals? And the Los Angeles Rams. And I knew about the Matt Stafford, Joe Burrow storyline for the quarterbacks. I knew it all. I knew it was at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, where I'm trying to figure out where that is, having lived in Los Angeles. I read that it's in Inglewood, which is where the Fabulous Forum used to be. So I'm guessing they tore down the Forum and built this SoFi Stadium. And I know there's the whole roof can be a TV screen. I knew it was going to be hot out there. So I knew a lot about the Super Bowl. Then I was busy. And Sunday, Debbie said, "Can we record the Super Bowl?" And I was like, "Why?" She goes, "Well, not for the game. I just want to record the commercials." And I said, you can just go online and Google Super Bowl 22 commercials and you can watch them all. No, I want to just record the Super Bowl. See, whatever. Sunday, I was making gumbo. I was trying another gumbo recipe, trying to perfect my gumbo. Didn't go well, but that's another story. So I turned on, she said, "Oh, can you record that for me?" And I turned it on just as things were, just as the pregame was in. And we watched the first half all the way through the halftime show and then jumped back and forth for the second half. It was an exciting ending. I'm guessing, I know you watched it because you were tweeting about it and I couldn't believe it. I was like, Cody's tweeting about sports. The world has come to an end. You didn't watch?
You missed my initial tweet.
I must have.
That said, I am going to live tweet today's game, even though I'm not going to watch it, and I'm going to see how many likes I get. Now, to be fair, a couple of my tweets were a little on the nose because two of my friends and I have like a mostly pro wrestling, but also generally sports, but mostly pro wrestling text thread.
Okay.
And they were texting a lot about the Super Bowl. So like, at one point, I don't know, somebody got like there was a turnover or something. So I threw out something that vaguely referenced a turnover. So like kind of a little cheating. But and then like everybody started talking about how many crypto commercials there were. So I
Lots of
think I
crypto.
threw out like a crypto thing, but I was reading people's tweets. No, I didn't watch a second of it. What was I doing? Really nothing of import. I was kind of wasting my time, actually, most of Sunday. Sunday was kind of I don't know. I'm in a weird week this week. This is a strange week, a couple
Why?
weeks for me. It's been a strange couple weeks. I'm in like a non, time has no meaning at this moment to me. But let's finish the Super Bowl conversation.
That's crazy.
We'll get into that.
There's a lot of stuff going on. We still haven't finished your Mexico trip conversation.
Oh, man.
But all right, suffice it to say, I watched enough. Debbie, by the time the halftime show was over, was like, I haven't seen any good commercials. And I only
Really?
Yeah, she didn't care for them. I liked the Larry David one, which was a crypto one. That was kind of funny. I like the Keeping Up with the Joneses, where I can't believe Tommy Lee Jones was in a truck commercial. Tommy Lee Jones, Leslie Jones, and who was the other Jones? Paula Jones? No. James Earl Jones? No. I don't know. But then one of the Jonas brothers pulls up, and Tommy Lee Jones gives him, pretends he doesn't know who it is because the Jonas brother goes, no, it's Keeping Up with the Jonases now. And Tommy Lee Jones gives him a look like he wants to punch him in the face, and then just goes, keep up with this, and the three Joneses take off. Mike's correct. Mike said the SoFi Stadium is right across the street from the Forum. So I know exactly where that is. So you didn't see the halftime show with all the hippity hoppity?
No, but I heard it was tailored to my generation, which apparently also means my generation is officially old.
Well, your generation is getting old. I don't know who it was tailored to. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Really?
Yes. I love Eminem. Nobody who knows me well would doubt that statement. I especially like Lose Yourself because I've seen 8 Mile probably, and this is not exaggeration, probably 10 times.
Really?
Yes. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. The first time I saw 8 Mile, I was on the road and I almost got in a fight with 2 teenagers because it was the middle of the day and there were only 5 people in the theater and they wouldn't shut up. So I stood up and told them to shut up. And then they did. And then I watched 8 Mile in the theater, and I've watched anytime I see it on cable, I will watch it.
What?
I don't know, Mom's spaghetti,
Wow.
I love the final rap battle at the end. I love his stupid friends.
I've never seen it.
Oh my God. All right, that's it. We're having a watch party.
Okay.
We are gonna watch 8 Mile.
All right. Is my son invited? Is little baby Gough gonna?
Yeah, he needs to get to put a knit hat on him and a hoodie, and he needs to get going right away. He needs to start jotting. He needs to start jotting those lyrics, spitting fire, getting rhymes. But Dr. Dre, Snoop D-O-double-G, Mary J. Blige. The weirdest part was 50 Cent hanging upside down, which was, it's your birthday, that song. Well, I guess in the video, he hung upside down back in the day. Now he was hanging upside down again. Looked like the blood had rushed to Fiddy's head. He had been hanging for a little while. Kendrick Lamar was there. There was a lot of crip dancing. There were low riders bouncing up and down. There were giant-sized cheerleaders dancing in a room with Snoop. It was crazy.
I heard it was very inappropriate.
For who? Old white people?
Charles Kirk?
Charles Kirk. Who's Charles Kirk?
Charles Kirk? Some media personality?
I don't know who that is.
He tweeted
and I don't care to hear him.
About how inappropriate it was.
Why? Because I was following it. I decided I would look at Twitter during the halftime show to see the insanity.
Oh yeah, he said it was sexual anarchy.
What? There was nothing.
Conservative activist Charles Kirk.
All right. Well, listen. The first 2 adjectives you used to describe him said I would have. All you would have had to say is conservative activist. He didn't like it. There's no chance he liked it.
Wow, 1.7 million followers. How do you get that many followers from being such a square?
Because you're a lunatic, and there's
I'm
a
just
lot
kidding.
of lunatics in the world.
I was just joking. It's Charlie Kirk.
Oh, well, see, all right, now.
That's hilarious that you didn't pick up on that immediately. I actually don't know who that is. I'm not going to lie, but I know the name Charlie Kirk. And
I know Captain Kirk and Kirk Cameron.
Mm.
You know, that's it.
What about Kirk Russell?
Kirk Douglas.
Mm.
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell.
I heard they were
Kirks.
I heard they were going to have a whole dollar at the Super Bowl, but since they had two quarterbacks, you got 50 cents.
I'm just leaving that right there. Wow.
Yeah.
I think you got too much sun.
That was
the last few weeks. That was
awesome.
that was something. I'll give you that. That was definitely something.
Thank you, Sally. Thank you.
No, I think Sandy loved the halftime show, not that joke.
Oh.
Don't give yourself that much credit.
Oh, we'll see.
I'll give you this. It was clever.
Thank you.
But clever doesn't always translate to funny.
No.
But it was clever. It was clever as hell.
I'm not going to, I mean, there was so much buzz around the big game and the commercials this year that I kind of regretted not watching, especially with all the crypto commercials.
You would have loved
so many.
Oh, so much crypto.
I'm going to watch next year. I think I'm going to watch next year because there were 6 years probably in a row where I was producing a radio show with you on Sundays during the Super Bowl.
We were always on during the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so I've watched maybe 2 Super Bowls in the last 10 years, maybe.
Is it because you're a beloved Green Bay Packers? We're not in it.
As a guy that doesn't watch football anymore, I don't care. Like, I guess they'd be my team if I went back, right? So that's cool. But
your boy Aaron Rodgers was voted league MVP again.
I know.
For all his crazy, nonsensical jibber jabber, he's still MVP.
It's almost like people's weird political opinions don't have to do with their athleticism.
Well, you could argue that, couldn't you? I would
call me old school.
I will call you old school. And that was all that the halftime show was. It was old school. So I'm seeing, a lot of people of color going, this is the greatest halftime show, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this is a great halftime show. I tweeted that I loved it. But then, then there's other people. This is awful. We hate it. Da, da, da. Then I saw a couple people tweet that it was almost like they were looking for a problem because they were angry that Eminem got like a big entrance. And you didn't see it. So, but it started with Dre and Snoop and then Mary J. And then, Fitty gets dropped down upside down. And then boom, 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 the opening notes of Lose Yourself come on, and Eminem like blasts through a wall. And then did a really bad lip sync job, to be honest with you. But it didn't matter because the song is phenomenal. Then he took a knee.
Did he?
Yeah, but and they tried to sell it at first, like right after the Super Bowl, that the NFL had told him not to take a knee. Then the NFL was like, we never told him not to take a knee. And then they came out and went, no, nobody told us not to take a knee. But people were mad. There were some people going, see, the NFL is still racist because Eminem got a bigger entrance. And I'm like, but it wasn't like he closed it out or opened it up. It was all about Dre at the beginning. And then, Dre closed it out. Snoop was on a lot. Snoop and Dre were on the most, as they should have been. I don't know, but it was fantastic. I couldn't believe it.
Let's just be clear here. The NFL is still super racist.
Yes.
But the NFL is not, and here's the parentheses, the clause, right?
Here we go.
Mathematics. The NFL is not racist because of the halftime show. Like that's not why they're racist, because of horrible things they do regularly that are racist. That's what matters. Yes. Not Eminem's entrance in the halftime
Well,
show.
let me throw this in there too. Dr. Dre produced the halftime show.
Okay, there you go.
So
yeah,
let's just lay that out there and go. I understand there's problems, but you can't just manufacture problems to further your arguments.
There are huge problems.
Huge. But
that are more serious.
I got 99 problems and Eminem ain't one.
Like, also the harm done by those problems, right? Like, the harm done by giving Eminem a big entrance in a halftime show is non-existent. No one is hurt from that.
Well,
no little boy is watching the show being like, oh, look, that man is white and had an entrance. You know, like that. There's no takeaway. That's not a thing.
The bigger surprise was 50 Cent, because he was not, like, everybody knew Eminem was going to be on, and everybody who knows anything about that knew that he was going to do Lose Yourself, because what else is he going to do? Right. He's not going to do Slim Shady. Guess who's back? 59. Two bad hips. Still do fine. Yes, I'm back. Yes, I'm back. Wow, I'm slinging rhymes, Cody. Back off. But 50 Cent was the big surprise. He got a huge response when he swung down like a vampire bat upside down. People went crazy. So, I don't know.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I loved it. Let's go back to Mexico. So you're doing yoga. You're going to the island of women. How was traveling? How was international travel during the pandemic?
Surprisingly pleasant. Did we have the test before we went down there? I don't think we did. No, we did. She did for the yoga stuff, but I did not. I didn't have to show my vaccine card to anybody at any point ever, anywhere.
Really?
Yeah. I just had my passport. I hopped on the plane, went 4 hours, got off at the airport. That was cool. I mean, they ask you, they're like, do you have COVID? And then you're like, no, because you don't. And then, we hung out.
Or you do and you lie.
Right. You had to have a negative COVID test within 24 hours of coming back to the U.S. I will say that was kind of funny because think about it. All right, so we went to like a spot at the little port where you would take the boat back to the Cancun mainland to go to the airport, right? So we're about to get on this ferry, and there's like a little station there with a couple Mexican doctors, and they're like, yeah, we'll give you a COVID test and stuff like that. All right. Well,
just out of the back of a truck, or was it a clinic?
No, it is a clinic.
Pharmacia.
So they shove the thing up your nose or whatever, and then they wait for the result and stuff, and that's fine or whatever. But the kind of like the joke at the among some of the people down there that we talked to was kind of like, how hard do you think they're really swabbing? Like, think about it. They don't want us there, right? Who really like, what is their incentive exactly? Like, they're not really heavily incentivized to be like, oh, we got this positive COVID test person. Now we get to
we got to deal with them.
Right?
We got to deal with a crazy American with COVID. So like, he's probably going to go full Karen on us.
So the whole thing, the whole thing is objectively silly, right? Like it's fine. Now, I will say, I did see the Excel spreadsheet they were like punching in people on, and like every like 15 or 20th, there was a positive case apparently. Oh. So according to what I saw in the spreadsheet, some people were testing positive. Maybe it was just a plant, who knows? But we both got negative tests, and then all we had to do is present with our passport. I will say the TSA coming back was I don't want to say the nicest, the least rude and horrific they've ever been coming back in the country. Because last like 4 times I've traveled back into the country, the worst part of any international trip I've taken, the last 4 trips at least, has been U.S. like customs / TSA officials. They're horrifically rude. They don't say welcome back. They just treat you like you're a criminal, and they're very gruff with you. I remember like what the guy said to me when we came back from Germany. That was like 6 years ago, right? Like, yeah. I mean, they're awful, right? There's a lot of really bad travel people like in our travel whatever, but they were not so this time. So I will say that was nice. But yeah, the rest was standard. Wear a mask the whole flight.
Did it? All right. Now, was there any issue on your flight?
Not that I knew of. No.
Oh man.
No.
I was hoping you'd come back with a story.
No. Just
like somebody got duct taped to the seat.
Now, and down there, the mask use is about like it is here. Like, there's people that wear it, and there's the cab driver that took us to the airport who told my wife very emphatically that COVID is fake and that it, all that stuff. He certainly was not wearing a mask.
Wow.
He said that she was going to make herself sick by wearing the mask that she was wearing and that she was all this crap. So that's cool. But I guess
that's what you want to hear from your cab driver in a foreign land.
Yeah. Varying. But it's exactly like it is here, right? There's some, like, if I go to the liquor store in downtown Lombard, like, I know I'm not wearing a mask because no one in the store is wearing a mask because that's just not their environment, right? But if I go to the Walgreens 2 doors down, like, well, everyone's wearing a mask because it's like it's Walgreens.
Sure.
So,
well, listen, another couple of weeks, nobody's going to have to wear masks.
In Illinois,
everywhere. Oh, man, pretty much everywhere in the known universe, except in schools. And I got to be honest, as I'm watching kids hacking with their masks on, I'm like, I'm good with it. I think schools should always have to wear masks, COVID or not, because kids are foul. And, the teachers should be able to not wear masks because we have enough sense to cover our noses or wash our hands or, and not walk up to somebody, start talking to them, and then sneeze right in their face. Most adults, and I say most, not all, realize how to do that. But the children don't. But yeah, so now Debbie's not happy about it because she's going to I'm going to make her leave the house.
What?
I'm going to want to go out, do stuff.
Oh, none of the matter. So,
I'm getting antsy. Yeah.
Wait, she's not going to like that. You're the one that doesn't like people.
I don't like people, but I want to go. I know that's where I'm torn, but I want to do stuff. Like now I'm very sad that we're not going to Mardi Gras next week. I'm very sad. We decided not to because of COVID and at that point, Omicron was running rampant. Cases were shooting up. Things were going crazy. And the thought of being around 1 million people crammed in did not sit well with my lovely bride.
Mm-hmm.
I acquiesced to her sentiment. And now as we're a week away, we'd be leaving. We would supposed to be leaving next Wednesday. The regret is starting to envelop me like a wet wool blanket.
Don't let that happen.
Well, I'll get past it only because I know we're going down at the end of March.
Yeah.
So I'll be fine. And so I don't really want to be amongst that many people. But I wouldn't mind going out to eat. It's been a long time since we went out to a restaurant or a brewery or something. So I wouldn't mind doing that.
Yeah.
And if I don't mind wearing the mask if places still want me to wear a mask. But it'll be nice to not have to check my pocket every time I get out to run into the grocery store or something and go, oh man, do I have my mask? Okay. Not that I'm arguing about putting it on. I never have. But it will just be I had too much on my mind. You know that.
It'd be nice
I can't be thinking about it.
It'd be nice to have fewer things to keep track of. I agree.
Yes. I don't want to keep, and today, the last couple of days, I switched up to an N95. I don't know why.
Ooh.
Yeah, sure.
How'd you get that? They didn't have those.
Oh, wait, no, it's a KN90. I got some KN95.
Is that different?
It's the KN95 is, I believe, the Chinese specifications. And N95 is the American.
Those.
Are you?
Yeah.
I didn't pay for them. My sister-in-law sent a pack of them up.
Oh.
I don't know where she got them.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, maybe she thought they'd have something in it that would kill us. I don't know. Listen, but I don't know. But I put it on. What the hell? So got to do that. But yeah, I'm glad. So the trip was good. You did yoga. You had a lot of free time. What was the weather like? Tell me the temperature. I'm going to be very jealous.
It rained a lot the first couple days. Actually, we got caught in a couple big time rains. The only day we did the beach was the last full day.
Okay.
And I told my wife, I was like, I want one day where we wake up, we walk to the beach, we sit there, maybe drink, and then that's the day. And that's what we did. It was great. It was great. Yeah.
Did you do up a lot of tequila?
Oh boy.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
So the Friday was the last full day of the yoga retreat, and the day trip was to a cenote. So there are a couple cenotes, basically these like pools, these natural like pools.
Ooh.
And so we drove like half hour, her and a few other people from I paid for the, I was like, well, if I go, I can join you for one of the excursions because I can just pay for it and it's fine. No one cared.
Right.
So I got to hang out with them, which was nice.
Yeah.
You go to the cenote, so you get to a cenote, and it's like, oh, you can like jump in. There's like a zip line over it where you can zip line and then drop into the water, which I did not do because I hate heights. But it was really cool. It was really pretty. And then, okay, so we're in the cenote for a while. We're hanging out. All right, then we get up, go to another cenote. We just like walk to it. It was like a 10-minute walk, and then it was like an underground. It was like a cave.
Oh,
like
nice.
This like ancient cave. It was
like a
super
grotto?
Cool. Like, yeah, it was really cool. So we got to swim around that. It was like really, really, really cool. And then we thought we were going to grab lunch and go.
Yeah.
Well, we were going to grab lunch, but the guy brings us out. Okay, drives, hop back in the van. We'll go a couple minutes, and then he was like, okay, we're going here. Here you go. Your tequila tasting. Your tequila tasting before the before lunch. Like what?
Yeah.
So we walk in, there's this little clearing. There's a bunch of trees still, but they're more spaced apart, and there's hammocks between them. And there's these two Mexican dudes with two tables with like the placemats full of like a line of tequila bottles.
Nice.
So here's the pitch he made. The pitch he made was, this guy is from Guadalajara.
All right.
And he said, my family makes tequila in Guadalajara. Like Guadalajara is real tequila. At some point 50 years ago, this is his story again. I don't know if this is true. I have no idea if this checks out, but this was his sales pitch.
But he's weaving a tale.
He's waved a tale. Some American came down and bought 52 tequila distilleries, moved production, all the production up north to the States. And that's where most of the tequila is, the Don Julio and the whatever.
Okay.
So the problem with that is the agave plant, like it really needs to come from the agave plant.
Right.
And the full maturation of the agave plant it's 9 or 12 years.
Oh,
but it's a long time, maybe 7.
Yeah.
It's between 7 and 12 years. It's a long time. And he said, all the tequila you get in the US has only been aged for like half of that. It's like 4 or 5 years at the most.
not long enough.
With that tequila, they don't age it enough, so they have to add alcohol, and they have to add preservatives, and they have to add sugar to sweeten it up, and that's why you get the tequila you get. He said, if you go up north here and you open a bottle of Jose Cuervo and you just leave it sit overnight, when you come back in the morning, a bunch of it'll be gone, not because anyone drank it, but because the alcohol evaporated out of it. And he said, with this tequila, it doesn't do that, because the tequila you're about to taste has been fully aged with the fully mature agave plants, and it's fully aged, no preservatives, nothing added. There were a couple flavored varieties, but like all natural stuff. So there's the 4 varieties. I don't remember the top 2, but then the third best was Reposado, and then there's the regular tequila. And the Reposado and the regular tequila are, for mixing, a little more harsh. But he gave us the second top tequila, and we'll get a little pouring cup, knock it back. Brian, you're not going to believe this tequila.
Really?
I bought a bottle.
Nice.
I bought several bottles. I bought as many bottles as U.S. Customs would allow us to bring back.
Really?
Yeah. So there were like I said, there were the 4 regulars. I actually thought the second most expensive, like nicest one, I thought the second nicest one tasted the best.
Okay.
So I bought one of those, and then we got 5 flavored bottles.
Whoa.
Because this guy had me hook, line, and sinker. So we'll see how they hold up here, and if they're really legit, or if he just gave us a little something else. I don't know. We've had a little bit of there's like an almondy kind of flavor that we got. We had a little bit of that, and it didn't blow me away, but I didn't remember loving it down there.
Okay.
The other ones I got were a couple coffee ones.
I know you love a coffee beverage.
Dude,
You love coffee and alcohol mixed together.
This coffee tequila is just unreal. And then we got some kind of fruit one and then a coconut one.
Wow.
So we've only had like 1 or 2 shots, but next time I see you,
So are you sipping it? You're just
yeah. We would pour it in a little shot glass or a tiny, like a few ounces. But yeah, just sip it.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ay, ay, ay. Ay, caramba, Cody.
He says that that it really should only be called tequila if it's made in like 2 different regions, kind of like in what's the French
champagne,
wine?
the champagne deal?
Yeah, like champagne, right? But that's kind of gotten away, and maybe it's not an international thing, or I don't know. But this is real Guadalajaran tequila. His family makes it. His family's been making it for 3 generations. It's supposedly the real stuff. You will be the judge of that.
Let me ask you this. Was this guy's name Turtle?
I don't know why.
Oh, you never watched Entourage. No. Entourage went down and bought a tequila company.
Oh. And
then, George Clooney made $1 bazillion on a tequila company.
We did know that, yeah.
Yes.
So that was my big purchase.
And if you were ever to watch Silicon Valley, there is a running thread of a type of tequila.
All right.
Tres Comas.
Well, all right. Well, yeah, that was my big cool thing to share. But I mean, nothing
excellent.
nothing really eventful happened to us those couple days on the island. It was mostly just kind of hanging out and trying to stay dry when it was pouring rain and trying to get in the ocean when it wasn't. I was just the ocean.
Chilling.
Dude, I told you this when I got back from Belize. Like there was a day where we sat out by the beach and just like read books and just hang out. And I put my book down and I just looked out for hours. And I was so happy. I was so happy. So
when we had nothing like being on the water.
Dude, when we had that beach day, I just sat and I just like, so the one, I didn't love the beach in Isla Mujeres. It was okay. But the problem is that you could go out, let's say like maybe 100 yards and then it was roped off. But when you went out, it didn't get deeper. The deepest you got was like 3 feet deep.
Really?
Because it's on a limestone shelf. So you're basically walking out flat. And that was fine. So, but I went as far out as I could go and I sat on my butt and I just sat there like cross-legged, just kind of like letting the tide pull me in and out. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not like a great swimmer and I don't need waves or anything. So it's not like I was like, I need an extreme beach, but like, I don't know. It was a little shallow. But it was still the water, right? And so I went out and I just like I sat on my knees at one point and just like looked out and I was just like chilling. I didn't have a drink or anything. I'm just chilling out there in the ocean for like an hour. My wife's reading. I kept coming back and I'm like, "You're good?" She's like, "I'm good." You're gonna get burned. I was like, "I am." I got a little burn, but not a lot.
Okay.
Just a tinge. But yeah. Now you've been to the Dominican Republic. That's your go-to, right?
Well, it's not my go-to, but I've been there. I've been to Puerto Rico. I've been to Puerto Vallarta. When we were in Puerto Rico, we took a small 4-seater plane over to Cuba Vera, which I believe, it was voted one of the, it's on all these most beautiful beaches lists.
Really?
Culebra was the island. Culebra. And I stood out in the water and just looked. It was like, this could be the most beautiful place I've ever been. You drive little golf carts all over the island, zip, zip, zip. You could wander up and get a $2 beer and, an empanada or some tacos, and then just hang out at the beach all afternoon. Then get in your golf cart and drive back to the airstrip. Zing! Back you go over to the big island.
We're thinking about our next sojourn to a tropical area, and because the clock is ticking, Brian. My son's going to be 2.
And what does that mean?
That means
another baby
can't fly for free with him in your lap.
Oh, well, they're going to look at him now and go, "That kid's not 2. He's shaving. There's no way this child is 2 years old."
True. But and like, do we need to travel with him? No. My parents watched him we were gone like I've gone like 5 days. They did not seem to mind.
He didn't mind, or they didn't mind?
I don't think they wanted me to take him when we got back.
Probably not. They got used to having him around.
He's the best.
And how did he react to your being gone? Or did he care either?
Didn't care. Didn't care. No, actually, when I dropped my wife off at the airport, he was in the back, and then so she gets out, she opens his door, she's like, "Oh my God, bye, mommy loves you." Gives him a kiss. He starts bawling. Right. When I went to my parents' house, and then my dad drove me to the bus to take the bus from Rockford to Chicago to get on the plane. Good old regional bus. So he brings me to the bus station, and I'm like, "Okay, bye, bud. See you later. Like, I'll miss you," and all that stuff. And he's just yelling, "Oh, bus. Oh, bus. Oh, bus." Because that's like his favorite word. And there's
he loves buses.
Terminal. Just buses everywhere. He's just yelling about buses. And I'm like, "You don't care. I'm leaving." He's like, "Oh, bus?" I'm like, "Okay. Have fun with Grandpa."
I'm getting on the bus.
Yeah.
I'm getting on the bus. He is your son, though. He's fascinated with the bus. He'll love the bus.
We'll see.
Yeah. Man, that sounds like a great trip. How was the food down there? Other than did you go in and have non-vegetarian, or did you get guilted into eating vegetarian food at the house all the time?
No, we had a lot of fish. So there's a nice place on the island that we knew was nice and fancier. But then there's this place we walked by a block from the hotel called Fish and Gin.
Two things I enjoy.
And they had a nice gin cocktail menu, and they had a gin and coffee cocktail, Brian. So I got it.
Of course you did.
I know. Hold on. You're a cocktail connoisseur of sorts, right?
I enjoy a cocktail.
You know when you have a good cocktail, right?
Yes.
Because you just get all these different layers and flavors, and it's balanced, and you're like, wow, there's a lot going on. And like that, like you can get an old fashioned a lot of places, but very few places you get like a great old fashioned. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This gin and fish place, it was the same bartender. We went 4 times.
Oh my God. I love those kind of places.
Yeah. And we got every gin drink on the menu. There were 9.
Wow.
We got pretty hammered. It was great. Met a couple people from La Crosse, Wisconsin while we were at the bar. Yeah, just hanging out. Like it was, that's the ticket. If you go to Cancun and you stay on Isla Mujeres, which is a little less touristy, still a lot of activity and certainly a handful of hotels, but just not, most people partying are just going to Cancun because why? Yeah. But the ferry's an 18-minute ferry across to the island. So it's right there. But if you stay there, fish and gin, so much money, just all of our money.
That sounds great. How are the prices?
It was, last couple of times I was in Mexico, I feel like I could get away with murder with the exchange rate.
Yeah.
Here I didn't. And I don't know if it's because the exchange rate or because prices are higher there or because I was in a much higher density touristy area.
Probably a little of all of it, maybe.
A little of all of it. But at the gin and fish, it was, we were paying $8-9 US for an exceptional cocktail.
So a little less than what you'd pay here, but or the same.
Downtown Chicago would probably be 10 or 12. So it's still a little bit cheaper.
That's cool. Listen, say you're on vacation. Doesn't matter. You got to go.
I was. What did you do while I was gone?
What did I do while you were gone? Well, last week there was just a lot going on and you weren't here, but it's been I've been literally working day and night. I've been teaching teaching during the day, and then every night I'm working. I'm either doing radio at TMJ or I'm doing games for Trivia Hub. And then on the weekends, if I'm not doing radio during the week, then I'm doing it on Saturdays. And that leads into a plug. This Saturday, you can hear me on WTMJ from 4 to 6, as always. But so
you had a show, right?
What's that?
You had a show like last weekend, right? Or,
I had a comedy show the day after you left. That was all right. So Thursday night, before the show's on Friday. I come down from doing what was I doing? I was doing radio or a game. I don't know what I was doing. So it all bled. But I come down after work, and Debbie says, "Your brother called me." I was like, "What?" She goes, "He said he thought he was calling your phone." He wants to know if it would be okay to come to the show tomorrow night. And I'm like, all right, why is he calling me? Why? She goes, you need to call him back and tell him. I go, can't I just text him? No, you need to call him back and tell him that he can come to the show. I'm like, why? Okay, why is he asking me? It's a public place. Well, he hasn't seen me. None of them, to be fair, none of them have seen me do stand-up in decades. So it used to be that my brothers and my parents didn't want to come see me do stand-up because they didn't think I was funny or they were worried I wouldn't be funny. And I didn't want them to come because I didn't want them to come. So I call him back. Thankfully, I get his machine. Now, I had never been to this club before. And it's in a place that they designed to do like classes for improv and stuff. But in the back, there's a room, and it's a nice little room for comedy, but it seats, I don't know, 70 people maybe. But for COVID, they've spaced it out a little, so there's not that many. Well, and I didn't know. I told him, I go, I don't know these people, so I don't think I can get you tickets. And I don't know the deal. Well, I get there. Turns out it's a BYO place, and it's completely sold out. And my brother shows up with they're older now, so I get girlfriend probably isn't the right term.
Girlfriend's the right term.
All right. His lady. Very nice
His
lady. His lady. And they come in, and I'm like, oh, there they are. Well, they hadn't made a reservation, so they didn't know it was sold out. They also didn't know it was BYO. The owner gave them her table, which was nice.
Wow.
And then and this was, man. So I'm looking at who's with me, because I'm closing the show. I'm bringing down the house. And I see the guy who's on in front of me. I don't know his name, but he's got an album on Apple and blah, and put out a CD and da-da-da. And I start psyching myself. I go, wait a minute, jackass. You put out a CD a long time ago. It was before iTunes. So, yours could be on iTunes, I guess, but it's not. Anyway.
It could be. You should do that.
Maybe I should. The show went great. The show was just, I went nonstop right from the beginning. And the crowd was, well, one, they're all packed together. Two, they're in a good mood. Three, they brought as much booze. Like there was a table of women having a party. They had about 6 bottles of wine on their table.
Nice.
So people were drinking. And the 2 acts in front of me were very good. And then I just, they were like, oh, we only need a half hour, but you can do a little more. I ended up doing like almost 45 minutes and just bringing down the house. I come off and the owner comes up and she gives me a big hug. She's like, oh my God, that was so terrific. And then my brother was like, that was really good. I like, oh, thank you. So there you go. So now he'll probably spread the word to the other brothers. And, but I remember when I was working, when brother number 2, the first time he lived in St. Paul, I was up working a club at the Mall of America because I had that kind of career. It was actually a big club. I worked that club with Brian Regan and some other people back when Brian Regan was still doing clubs, not theaters. But my brother was coming to see the show, and a couple of friends of mine were there. And outside, he was like, I don't know if I should go in. What if he's not funny? What if I don't laugh? And my buddies were like, don't worry, we've seen him. He's funny. You'll be fine. Yeah, but I'm inside going, oh, why is my brother here? I don't want him to see. This is not for them. This is not for my family. So it's been a weird thing. But now I don't care because now it's not my job. It's what I do. I do it and I'm good at it. So they can come and see me if they want. So yeah, I did that. I got punched by a 3rd grader.
You actually got punched by
got punched, literally.
in the
literally
face?
punched. No, in the arm.
Did
was out
what?
of
Did you hit him
anger.
back?
Well, hit's a hard word. Did I subdue him with a knee to the throat? Some people might say yes. My lawyer would say absolutely not.
Mm.
Yeah, he was. He's a kid with some problems, and I'm not making light of his problems, but I will make light of the fact that he took a swing at me, and then some of the other. Now this was 2 days after he had kicked one teacher, and left a huge mark on another teacher's face trying to rip his mask off.
Ooh.
So the kid punches me, and some of the teachers were like, well, did he hurt you? And I'm like, no, but that's not really the point, is it? Should it only be a big deal that a student punches a teacher if he does some damage?
Yeah.
So like if I had punched him back and not really hurt him, would that be okay?
Yeah.
Well, no, but I was like, no, I just, but I did scream, right in his face. You do not hit me. You do not hit me. Then he went on to trash the room.
Wow.
Literally trash it. Today I had to go back in with the fourth grade class that I had been with all the first semester, the lunatics. And, in the morning, they couldn't be happier to see me. Cody, you would have thought I was bringing them all candy and video games. Oh, Mr. Noonan, you're going to be with us all day. Mr. Noonan. Oh. By lunchtime, they were like, when's our teacher coming back? Tomorrow. Good. We like her better. And I'm like, I was in here for 4 months with you guys. You don't treat her like you like her better. You treat her exactly like you treat me.
Burned.
And it's taking every amount of self-control to not talk back to some of these kids. Like, I don't want to be here. I should have stayed home, but I want to go home. Tell your mom to keep you home. I don't care. One kid I did, he's like, my sister skipped school today, and I wanted to skip school. I couldn't skip school. Now I have to be here. And I go, hey, take that up with your mom. It's not my problem. You're here. I didn't make you come here today.
Well, didn't you?
No, his mom did. I would have been happy if he'd stayed home.
Wow.
Yeah. Punk.
It's fair. I'm just getting
it is fair.
getting
You're readjusting.
here.
Yeah, well, now you're looking more straight at the camera, which is nice. I mean, everybody enjoys your profile. It's very very rugged, very stern profile, but Yeah, Marta says I have said I don't like people to show if I know them. Cody has broken that rule now, so Cody can come back again. I don't care anymore. That used to be the rule. I didn't like it. I never told anybody they couldn't come to the show. I just never really was excited that they did, but that was my own psychotic issues.
Right.
Now, I don't really have psychotic issues anymore.
Well,
I have minor mental issues, but I don't have psychotic issues.
They're just different psychotic issues.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I've traded in minor ones like that for major life issues.
Right.
Now I don't care. You want to come to the show? If it was a place I knew and I could get people tickets, I'd get people tickets. Come on out. I'm going to be back in Kenosha as part of a comedy festival in a couple of weeks.
Sweet.
Yeah, who knows? They're like, you want to do it? Yeah, okay. I say yes to everything now. Not everything, but comedy-wise, I do. You want to come work at at an improv place up in Glenview? Yeah, sure I do. All right, it was great. Got paid. You know what? I have drawn the line, though, because people are like, hey, some of the other acts, hey, man, we do these virtual shows or these open mics. You want to come do that? And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, for free? Absolutely not. Not doing anything. I'm not going to open mic nights. I saw a thing yesterday because I'm part of this comedy in Chicago Facebook group. There was a place that was doing an open mic night. You got 4 minutes. If you wanted one more minute, you had to buy a drink. I'm like, man, these poor comics who are starting, they're all hustling, doing all these open mic nights, getting screwed over. Hey, you come, you get 3 minutes, you get 4 minutes, but you got to bring people or you got to pay money. That when I was starting and when I started here, it wasn't a big deal. But when I got to LA, I would hear people talking about these bringer shows where you couldn't get stage time unless you brought 10 people with you. And, you can only do that to your friends maybe once.
Yeah.
And then they're not your friends anymore. And they're also going, we don't want to see you do the same 3 minutes. So yeah, it's a horrible business.
Well, it also makes it a young man's game, right? Because once you get older, you don't have as many friends.
Well, one, you don't have as many friends. No, I like that you thought I had some when I was young. But no, I could have never scrounged together 10 people to come out and see me. Again, I didn't want them to come see me. But here in Chicago, you didn't have to worry about it. I was doing open mic nights Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, some on Wednesday. I was doing them as much as I could, but they were all clubs where you didn't have to bring anybody. You didn't have to jump through weird hoops. You just had to sign up and you got on, or you called or sent your avail, you faxed your avails, whatever it was. And you could do it. But it was these sketchy people who were like, oh yeah, we can do it. I think like New York does that a lot. LA did that a lot because there's so many people who want to be, everybody's a comic. So they take advantage of them, I'm not going to some open mic. I didn't do any open mics when I was in. People would go, hey, when I moved to LA, why don't you come and do the open mics? I go, nah, no thanks.
Yeah.
Because it's funny. Open micers all think that they're brilliant. And a lot of them are not. But they have the attitude that they are. And then they look at you. And if you're like in LA, God forbid you were a guy who worked on the road. Oh, man, they look down on guys who worked on the road. Oh, you're a road comic? You mean, do I make money and pay my bills and buy my house with? Yeah, that's how I am a road comic. Oh, no, we don't. No, you're not alternative.
That's weird.
It was very weird. What'd you do for Valentine's Day with your lovely?
We made brownies.
Pot brownies?
We just made brownies. It was great.
Regular old brownies?
We just made brownies.
You made brownies.
And we watched a French film called La Piscina, which means the swimming pool from 1969, a artistic-y kind of a thing. I don't know. Her birthday's next week, so I got to do something exciting for that.
Oh.
We decided not to really care about Valentine's Day because we just got back from Cancun.
That's true.
So next week, her birthday, I got to figure something out for that real quick. Sybaris, Mike, usually they're booked out pretty far in advance, unless you were talking about maybe Valentine's Day, that'd be a good thing, but missed the boat on that one. But Sybaris, hey, look, I'm not going to sneeze at Sybaris anytime. It's a fine establishment.
I didn't even know those things were still open yet.
Oh yeah, they've been open. Well, yeah, of course they're open because you only got 2 people in a hut per townhouse. I guess that's
true.
Yeah,
I want the yurt room. I'm going to pretend I'm banging in a yurt.
We wanted to go swimming at some point during the pandemic. So think about it. 8 months into the pandemic, where are you going to go? A Holiday Inn? Their pools aren't open, right? How about a private room where you've got your own swimming pool? That seems pretty reasonable.
Yeah, but don't you have to skim it before you get in it?
Well, look, water kills a lot of things. Look, but hey, exciting news next Tuesday. I am participating.
If you're gonna tell us you're gonna be doing some big announcement, I don't want to hear it.
No.
All right.
It's not my big announcement, really.
Oh, good.
I am participating in the Shiditarod fundraiser this year.
Yeah.
You may recall a couple of years ago I did it in person. Last year I won the film festival. Our team had the best in show for the film festival. This year they're doing it again in person, but it will be a pared down version.
Okay.
Typically the Shiditarod is a bar crawl costume. Your team wears a themed costume and you'd run around with a shopping cart to these different bars. No bar crawl this year, just a block party. They're just going to sell tickets to get into a big parking lot where people will be drinking. Sounds great.
It does sound
good. So it's raising money for the Greater Chicago Food Depository.
Yeah.
We take donations and then also like canned goods and stuff. So our team always shows up with about 100 pounds of canned food, which is great. But also donations wonderfully accepted. So I'll post a link on Brian's page for donations. But if you donate any amount, suggested donation $20, but if you donate any amount, then you will be eligible to participate on Tuesday in a special all experience beginners welcome on virtual Vinyasa flow yoga class taught by my one spouse.
Really?
Yeah. So
Wow.
I'll actually grab the event link right now and
Yeah.
stick it in the book.
Please
So
do that. That is
pretty
phenomenal.
cool stuff. Yeah, pretty cool stuff.
Now, when is the Shiditarod?
Shiditarod itself is 2 weeks from Saturday, maybe 3 weeks from Saturday.
Okay.
It's
sometime in
soon.
March.
Yeah. Let me I'm getting messages. I'm getting so many different things.
No, what's going on?
Anyway, no, I'm
What's
just
happening?
I'm just finding the actual event that I shared. I'll find it. But anyway, so we are just trying to raise money and it should be a really cool event. And if you like yoga, it's also for a really good cause. So here we go.
That sounds nice.
Yes. So I'll get the event and I'll put it right there in the chat for this. And I'll also share it to Brian's page later, the Brian Noonan Show Facebook page later for you to find.
Nice.
Here is the yoga event. Again, if you donate any amount, it will be wonderfully appreciated, and you'll get an email prior to it with a link to join the video event, as well as a link to a Spotify playlist that you can play and listen to along with everyone while the class takes place.
And what time is the class? Do we know?
6 p.m.
Very
Central
nice.
Standard Time next Tuesday, actually. So it'll be a couple hours before our show. So
I was going to say, are you going to come in all zen and stretched out?
No, because I'm going to be watching my son, which will be the opposite of that.
He doesn't like yoga yet?
He does. However, her teaching in class might be a little hard with him running interference. When she does certain moves, he likes to think that he can get on top of her, and that's hard mode of a move. But
yeah, you can't be mounting the instructor.
Right.
No, that does not work.
Yeah. So
that makes sense though that you passed on Valentine's Day.
What did you do on Valentine's Day?
There was big discussion here at the house about Valentine's Day because, quite frankly, we've celebrated more than 30 Valentine's Days together. So pretty much run the gamut. And Debbie is now, we don't need any more stuff. So getting stuff is dumb. Plus, I know Debbie hates cards. She thinks they're an incredible waste of money, so she never wants a card. So I respect that. Right. I get her flowers all the time. Just
do you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I get it if I go to Costco or Sam's or if I'm at Jewel and I see some, I bring her flowers all the time.
Oh, that's your love
because I'm
language,
a romantic guy.
You never brought me flowers?
Yeah, well,
makes sense.
Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. You don't want
to. So
you don't need to expand on that. No, we
made a gumbo, right?
Well, we had talked about doing something. We were like, well, do you want to go? First, it was like, well, let's go out on Sunday because we knew we didn't want to go out on Monday because every Yahoo's going out on Monday. That was how that's how I knew I forgot that it was the Super Bowl because Debbie and I were both like, yeah, we'll go out to dinner Sunday. And then it was like, oh, yeah, it's the Super Bowl. Okay. So she said, well, why don't we just get a Malnati's heart-shaped pizza and a salad on Monday for Valentine's Day? I was like, okay, that sounds fine to me. But then it turns out they only have one size of the heart-shaped pizza, and they're not very big. So we ended up getting a round pizza and just pretending it was heart-shaped. But then I got her, we try to get experiences now. And so I got her a certificate. We're both going to do it for when we go to New Orleans for this demonstration cooking class. So you go and it's 2 hours and the chef makes, for our class, he's making crab and shrimp bisque, chicken etouffee, and pralines. And then you eat them. And they have beer and all this stuff. So it's like going to lunch, but learning how to cook. And then you get the recipes for all this stuff. So I got her that. And she was very excited. And I didn't give her a card. I mocked up a little certificate, put a few Snoopy Valentine's GIFs on there. And it was beautiful. So that's what we did. Because it's like, what are we going to go out and pretend? Oh, let's get. I had said, well, maybe I'll get some crab legs or something, and I'll cook us a fancy dinner since we're not going to go out. Well, then I go looking, and Costco usually used to have these great. They called them the seafood road shows around and they'd have giant crab legs and shrimp and all kinds of seafood. It was fantastic. Well, they didn't have one last weekend. And I went in, and the king crab legs were like $40 a pound. And I was like, nah, we're not going to do that. So I forget what we ended up doing Saturday. We got dinner somewhere, just brought it in. And then we had been binging Succession. So it's a lot of romance rolling through this joint.
A lot of romance.
Last night it was pizza and salad. And that was it. Did have a glass of wine last night. So dry January is over.
Yeah, nice.
I made it to the 5th or the 6th of February.
Nice.
But I've only had I had 2 beers with the gumbo Sunday, and I had a glass of wine last night with Valentine's dinner. So not fully back. But I will say this, a gallon of Pat O'Brien hurricane mix has arrived at the house. So
I'm ready.
So let's just say that, I'm glad I waited a little longer because it's coming to an end. It's coming to an end pretty soon.
Well, you got some time to enjoy because Easter's pretty late this year.
I don't even know when Easter is.
It's April 17th.
Is that right?
Oh, that weekend, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's going to be a long Lent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
It's actually going to be 40 days still.
Is it same length?
It's the same length.
It's always 40 days?
Yeah, has September, April, June, and November.
All the rest have 31 except for February.
Which sucks.
Does,
Boo!
But it's more than half over.
Yeah, that's true.
I've been noticing, this is how sad my life is. I've been noticing that it's staying light later, and I got excited. Last night it was 5:30 and it was still light out, and I was like, woohoo, here we go.
I was just glad that I could go outside today because it's been so cold.
Yeah, don't get too used to it. All the weather monkeys are calling for the end of the world come Wednesday night. No, Mike, no, the hurricane doesn't come pre-boozed, man. You got to booze it up yourself. You got to mix it up. In the past, Pat O'Brien's used to sell powdered, and then you'd have to mix the powder like making Kool-Aid, and then you'd add your rum. Now it comes like they have it at the bar. It's just a jug of the juice, and it's 1-to-1. So do the math. I got 2 gallons of hurricanes ready to start swimming. That'll be nice. Isn't Lent the same like sure, Marta, but sometimes it just feels longer.
Sure.
It just sometimes you make crazy pledges that you think is gonna, booze-free Lent, but that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because I already told you I'm going to New Orleans at the end of March. There ain't no way I'm going down there all teetotaling. I'm going to do in New Orleans what you did in Mexico. I'm going to go sit along the river and just relax. I'm going to smoke a cigar. I'm going to drink some cocktails, and I'm just going to chill. Then I'm going to come back, hide for my birthday, pop my head out, wish you a happy birthday, and then go back in my hole.
Perfect.
Like the groundhog. So I took advantage of the extended light today because over the last few weeks, the dogs have been running unencumbered, let's say, in the backyard. And when it snowed 2 weeks ago and it was so deep, I had to dig like a racetrack in the backyard so they could run around. Well, that track is completely full of dog bones.
Oh, God.
And the part where I had shoveled to get from the little walkway out to the garage door, that has all melted, which is why Lawson has decided that's the only place he can take a dump. So as I got home from school today, it was almost impossible for me to get from the garage to the sidewalk. So I had a meeting this afternoon. I finished that up, and I go outside, I filled 2 giant bags, and there's still so much that's frozen in ice that I can't get it out. So I'm hoping tomorrow that it is warm enough and rains that I can get out there and scoop up a little more, because then it's going to snow again. It's a horrible circle of life that I live in.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say the day I left for Rockford to drop my son off for Cancun, I had to use the snow thrower 3 different times because we got like 5 inches that day.
Yeah. But you made it out.
Cleared up right before I went to Rockford, got him dropped off. Next day, clear skies. We were good. It was
nice.
Good. So yeah, but it was,
I'm very happy you got out.
It was one of those like go from shoveling to Cancun kind of trips.
That's the best way. That's what you got to do. You gotta go from horrible, like if you're in warm weather, at least, and also when you came home, it was cold, but it wasn't snowy.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you were in a beautiful climate like you were and came home and there were a foot of snow on the ground, that would really suck. You have to do it, but it would still really suck.
Right.
But now you're good. But that's what they're saying. It's all coming. It's all coming tomorrow night, Wednesday night and Thursday. Everybody's in a panic. And I, again, like a child, am thinking, woohoo, maybe there won't be school. But there will be school. We'll just have to do it virtually, which means I can teach in my underpants. Because the children don't see me. The children only see me from here up.
Right.
That's all. They don't know what's going on. It's like a mullet. I'm business up top, party down below.
Someone told me recently mullets are coming back.
I don't know somebody asked me if my hair was a mullet. I don't believe my hair is a mullet. I think my hair is just long because it's long everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just long, which I had a conversation with Debbie. I think the long hair experiment may be coming to an end.
You told me that months ago.
I know, but I'm very indecisive. But now I don't know. I think it might. It changes hourly. Sometimes I go, oh yeah, it's okay, and then it'll go way out like Yahoo Serious, and I'm like, no, this is not a look.
What about the stash?
The stash will go when the long hair goes.
Good. I think I can get behind that.
Wow. All right. Do we need to, is there something you've been wanting to tell me for a while?
No, I prefer stashless Brian as a general rule.
Okay. Well, listen.
When I first met you, you were stashless, and so it could be a nostalgia thing.
This is what I like about you, Cody. You're not afraid to be honest. Because no one in my own family will give me an honest opinion.
Oh.
I said to Debbie, I go, I'm thinking of ending the long hair experiment. What do you think? It's your hair. I go, yeah, but do you have an opinion? Well, no, it's your hair. I've gotten used to it. I go, but do you like it? Do you? So I can't get it. And they haven't said anything about the mustache. I'm sure they don't like it. My mom hates it. She's made no secret. She said the biggest mistake your father ever made was when he grew a mustache. It's like, maybe he can't pull it off like I can. Maybe he didn't have the joie de vivre to pull off a mustache. But see, her dad, my grandfather was always clean shaven. My dad was, except for the one unfortunate mustache period in his life, I guess, was always clean shaven. My brothers, my youngest brother now has a beard, but most of the time we've been clean shaven. So it's just a different look. I don't know if maybe she thinks it's ethnic to have a mustache. I don't know what ethnicity, but who knows? But yeah, all right. Listen, your opinion is noted. Stuart wants me clean cut too. Wow.
I vote go back to old school Brian, just,
Oh no, Debbie said she did, this was what she said. I don't want you to get it cut like you had it before. Because, all right, again, for 28 years being married, over 30 years, she knew me with a flat top or a really high and tight crew cut. She never said anything. The minute my hair grew out, yeah, your hair was always too short. But I know I'm, I may come off as sensitive, but you can give me your opinions. I think she's just afraid that I'm going to become a raving lunatic. Because I said to her the other night, I go, listen, you got to be honest with me about this gumbo recipe. So I'm trying it, and I need you to be honest. So she was honest about that. Cindy likes me just the way I am. Thank you, Cindy. Listen, I'm not who I am is not going to. I'm not like Samson, where if I cut my hair, suddenly I'll be weak and unopinionated. I'll still be me. I almost shaved the mustache off the other day, Cody, because I was trimming it and trimming the my little tickler down here, and I hit the tickler wrong, and it almost took most of it off. And I was like, oh no! And I didn't want to just have a mustache without my little soul patch.
Right.
I like the balance. So, but then I was like, oh, you can still see it. So that's it.
I think you should get rid of the facial hair.
How about I do it next Tuesday?
But what?
How about I do it? How about I do it? How about I do it on the podcast? I'll shave the mustache.
That's fine. What can you? Hey, can you make it a fundraiser for our
for the Shiditarod? Sure.
The Shiditarod team?
Yeah. How do we turn this into a fundraiser?
I have
shave the
no
mustache.
idea. I
don't either.
I will.
Carol likes the stash and soul patch. There you go.
Let me see.
The kids at school have freaked out because a lot of them don't know that I have a mustache because I wear the mask all the time. But in my ID picture, it was taken this year, so it had the long long hair and the mustache. And they're like, that's not you. You got to get a new picture. I go, this is exactly me. Oh, they lose their minds. The other day, I started joking with one of the boys has decided he's going to have a man bun on top, kind of like samurai, like John Belushi back in the Saturday Night Live days. And so I don't know how my hair I was mirroring my computer screen for a lesson. And in the corner of my Google account is an old profile picture where I had the full beard and almost no hair. And they were like, wow, one of the boys goes, Mr. Noonan, I like that profile picture. I was like, oh, thanks. It's when I had a beard. And he goes, you have a beard? And I was like, yeah, you nincompoop. Look at the picture. And then it got into my hair. Oh, your hair was so short. Now it's so long. And one of the kids goes, yeah, your hair is really long in the back. I was like, oh, okay. So we started joking about what I could do with my hair. And the fifth graders thought that was hilarious. They had all kinds of ideas. Oh, man. Hold on. Mike is offering $100 to the Shiditarod for an on-air destashing. Cody, Mike, if you're going to do it, you got to be on it. Well, I'll do it. I'll do it for the hundo, not for me, but for the Greater Chicago Food Depository.
Hold on. I'm sending a message to my team right now.
Yeah, see what you can do. Let's get this going. Mike's hundo would be a great start. I'll lather it up too. I'll do it with a trimmer first, and then I'll slather on some shaving cream, and we'll take it off. It's mustache related. So there was a horrible video about a police officer. He was on a campus somewhere, and he was subduing a young black man. But it wasn't the violence of the video bothered me, of course. But then I had to look. This guy literally had a Hitler mustache and a Hitler haircut.
Oh, no.
Yes. And he was a police officer. And I'm like, oh, my God. Of course he's going to do some horrible things on duty. It was really close. And the Hitler haircut. And who doesn't know the Hitler mustache? So, yeah, that was I was like, oh, then I went, well, I was never going to have a Hitler mustache. And I don't think I'm ever going to get the Tom Selleck mustache. So it's, here's the thing. I'll shave it off because if I decide I want it back, I'll grow it back.
You can grow it back, right?
I got a lot of testosterone in me.
Right.
It's all backed up.
Well, I messaged my fundraising team to see how we can make this happen, but we'll figure it out. We'll find a way for me to monetize you for the greater good.
Well, no, I'm in. Let's get some PR out there. Let's get some big push on this.
Yes.
We'll do some interviews, do some TV. Mike is going to chip in $100. Mike, you'll have to go to that link, or we'll have to keep your eye on the Facebook page, and we'll give you all the details. But I'm willing to do it.
Speaking of making money,
yeah.
Are you watching or listening to Realities May Vary, starring Brian Noonan featuring Cody Gough?
No, starring Brian Noonan and Cody Gough.
It's fine.
With Brian Noonan and Cody Gough.
With many muchas cosas. That means many things. Have you listener / viewer / audience person member of the persons? Have you ever thought to yourself, boy, I sure enjoy what they do.
Yeah.
I would like to give them money to support what they do. Well, soon, my friends, that will be an option.
Oh,
yes, because in the next month, I talked about this on the podcast before. My friend is launching a video hosting website,
right?
Like a YouTube, but with no ads. None of those annoying.
We don't want annoying ads.
Constant, nonstop, unavoidable ads and horrible algorithms telling you to waste more time on the site. No. It's a clean video platform. And once it launches, I'm going to talk to Brian and we'll figure out how to get the old videos there here on the Giveo also. And then if you want to watch that free viewing experience over there and chip in a couple bucks, you can. No purchase necessary.
No purchase necessary, but there will be an option for gratuities. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Because why not?
I think that would be. I think that would be lovely.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get PayPal gratuities for my other job. That I guess they put up at the. We don't solicit gratuities, but if the clients or the people who are playing the games are filling out the survey, I guess there's a link if you want to tip your host. Our Venmo and PayPal is there, and a couple games I get done, I go downstairs, I look, hey, look at that, PayPal.
That's crazy too, that a bunch of elementary school kids are sending you tips.
Listen, I don't know if you know this, Cody. Today I taught an introduction to angles that, please, come on, stop it. Yesterday, I was in preschool. Those kids tipped me with colored hearts. A couple kids colored some heart-shaped doilies, came over, and they're like, these are for you. And I said, oh, thank you. And I left preschool more tired than I've been in most of my adult life. You have one 2-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine.
He's not even 1.5 yet, somehow.
Right. Imagine.
He's just gigantic.
Is he? He's not even. Oh, that's right. He's only 1.5.
He's gigantic.
I would like him because he's taller. He is tall. Don't be obtuse. Oh, nice, Mike, with the angles.
In your introduction to angles, did you start with Kurt Angle?
I did. I went, listen, a lot of you are probably familiar with Mr. Perfect. And they said, well, that was before our time. I said, shut up, you punks, and appreciate the classics.
So that's Kurt Hennig.
Then no, I didn't start with Kurt Angle.
Oh, boy. The Olympic
I thought Mr. Perfect was Kurt Angle.
He's Kurt Hennig. Is Mr. Perfect.
Who's Kurt Angle then?
Kurt Angle is an Olympic gold medalist who won a U.S. Olympic gold medal in wrestling with a broken freaking neck. And then he wrestled in TNA for like 10 years, 20 years. And then he went in WWE and retired.
Did he have a nickname?
Nope, just Kurt Angle. I mean, Kurt Hennig and Kurt Angle sound pretty alike, right? Kurt Angle was just an Olympian that started around the year 2000. And he did some really great programs with The Rock and Austin and Chris Jericho. This is like the heyday of the Attitude Era. Kurt Angle was one of my favorite wrestlers growing up. He was so good.
All right.
And he shaved his head and went over to TNA.
Speaking of The Rock, you didn't see him introduce the Super Bowl.
He introduced it?
Finally! He did his whole thing.
Are you
Finally,
serious?
the Super Bowl has come back to Los Angeles. And then he introduced both teams using like how the sports entertainment, the most, all his old things. His arms were the size of small children. It was, and of course, The Rock. Listen, if I was The Rock, I would wear really tight clothing too. Because why not? You got the body and you're The Rock. But he was holding the mic, making sure he was fully flexed. And I would, listen, anybody who looked at him and swooned, I'm not mad at you. You got come on. Not that was happening in our house, but Debbie was very quiet during that opening part of the game.
Dude, The Rock is the man.
The Rock is the man. But then people were complaining about The Rock being there too, because it's Twitter. What does The Rock have to do with it? He's so overexposed. And I'm like, shut up.
Anyone who doesn't like The Rock is an idiot. I'm just saying that right now. You suck.
You need to know your role and shut your mouth.
You do. If you don't like The Rock, you suck. Yeah. That's my hard take. Like,
and you know what? That's not even a hot take. That's just a duh. Of course. How do you not like The Rock?
Seriously.
I don't care, Sally. He could be eating roids like a Pez dispenser. I didn't say God made him that size. Somehow he got that size. It's not up to me, But man, I would hope that if we ever met The Rock, Cody, that he's as nice as we hope he is.
He absolutely is. Absolutely.
I think that's going to be true. I want to hold out that hope that he's not a jabroni. But man, he opened the Super Bowl. Because The Rock's mic work is unparalleled.
It is. He's the most electrifying man in sports entertainment.
That's how he introduced one of the teams. The most electrifying team in sports. You're the champion of the AFC. But he introduced the Rams first, your hometown, and the place is going, the place is going crazy. Everybody's screaming for The Rock, wearing a matching maroon outfit, a really tight maroon button-down shirt and tight maroon pants.
I'm watching this as soon as we're done.
Yes. His ink on full display, his guns fully loaded and blazing. I wouldn't be surprised if he had oiled up right before just cause. Again, if I looked like that, I'd be oiled all the time. I'd be completely slicked down, so any light that hits me glistens off me like an ocean's majesty.
The NFL calls the video "Guy from Fortnite" with the most electrifying introduction in Super Bowl history.
Maybe they can't legally say The Rock or Dwayne Johnson. Because he doesn't go by The Rock anymore, does he?
He does when he does wrestling stuff.
When he does wrestling, yeah.
The guy from there's a website that said NFL trolls The Rock by referring to him as Guy from Fortnite.
Oh, that's not smart.
That's weird.
Yeah, if you just Google The Rock Super Bowl 2022.
No, I mean, I've got the video. It's just really funny that he called himself the guy from Fortnite. But anyway, neither here nor there. Fans, how did we get on this?
I don't know. Something about Kurt Angle. Oh, Kurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were getting tips from your students. That's great.
Right. And then we were talking
Venmo,
about we were talking about angles, and you said, "Did you do Kurt Angle?" And then we went off into a weird Kurt Angle, Kurt Hennig thing, and then The Rock, and how if you don't like The Rock, you're an ass.
Yeah, you suck. Yeah,
you suck. You suck, big donkey.
And his biceps are
they're obscene,
unnecessary.
Yeah, nobody, unless you're a real life superhero, you don't need to be that big.
But he is a real life superhero.
I guess you know what? I was wrong. You're right. The Rock is a real life superhero.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be in some new superhero movie for DC. I forget who he's going to be.
Black Adam.
Black Adam. I don't know. See, I don't know the DC universe. I don't know the Black Adam.
Me neither. I just know The Rock.
All right, can we stay on other wrestling superheroes for just a minute?
John Cena, his TV show's great.
Peacemaker, it is great. I haven't watched the last episode, but it is he's hilarious. John Cena is phenomenally funny in Peacemaker. He's got an eagle called Eagly. I know that's the writers putting that together, but he delivers it. What I like about it is he's not even doing it with a wink going, hey, I know I'm too cool for this. He's 100% committed to this character. And some emotion is coming through. So I think he's doing a really good. Who would have thought when you saw the Marine, when he first was starting to act, kind of like The Rock. I look back at The Rock now. Walking Tall was on one night as I was going to bed, and I was like, oh, I like The Rock. I'll put on Rocky. It's like, they're not even the same person.
Yeah.
It's like, and I know this, he just doesn't look the same at all. Now he's much bigger. He's much balder. It's weird to see him with hair in anything, just odd. So yeah, John Cena, chasing The Rock for acting chops.
Yeah. Well,
granted, it's no The Nanny, like Hulk Hogan's babysitter movie, but
Tooth Fairy,
yeah. Who was the man? Oh, there was a nanny one with Vin Diesel.
Oh God, no, thanks.
Wasn't that? So, man, we covered a lot of topics.
We did. We felt mediocre about most of them, but I like that.
Right. There was no rage really tonight. It's rage free, which is unusual.
Mm-hmm.
You had pleasant experience in Mexico. Other than getting punched by a third grader, I didn't have anything I wasn't really upset about too much. But now wait till next week after I've had to shovel, and then I'm serious. Let's do this. This will be my way of helping Shaiditarod.
I love it.
So we already have $100 from Mike. We'll figure out how people can actually pledge the money. We'll put the word out. We'll plug it all week on our various social media channels. And then next Tuesday, I'll shave.
All right. I'm messaging my team about it right now.
And if we get tons of money, I'll shave my head. No, I won't.
The Shaiditarod isn't until 2 weeks from now, I think. So technically we could do it 2 weeks from today.
All right.
If it takes me time to figure it, because I want.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Yeah. We'll keep you posted.
Week or two.
Keep that C note handy. It's either going to be next Tuesday or the Tuesday after. Yeah. So it'll either be the 22nd or March 1st.
Yeah. And if you donate to get to the yoga class next Tuesday, we'll make sure that goes also towards the Brian shaving. But next week I've got a bunch of stuff to talk about. This is going to be excellent.
Now, listen. You've played us for the fool many weeks in a row. That you were coming, you had big things. Mm-hmm. Oh, next week I got big things. Then next week came no big things. Are you bringing big things?
Well, I have to, yeah, for sure. Hold on, I'm looking at. Here we go. I have one story. I guess I got one quick story to take us home.
Wow. Hold on. Before you get to your quick story, Carol threw a wrinkle in. Carol said there should be a bidding war between shaving the mustache and not shaving the mustache.
All right,
I like that too. Whatever side raises the most, all of this can be yours, either in a dish or on my mug.
All right. Details next week, but also follow the show page. I can't wait. This is great.
This is going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. One quick fun go.
Maybe I could get Debbie drunk and let her shave it. And then you can see me get decapitated like one of those crazy ISIS videos. That might be weird. How much money can we get for that?
I don't know.
All right. What's your story?
No. I'm going to save it for next week, actually.
Are you sure?
It's going to turn into a whole discussion probably. And
okay,
it'll be fun. But I've got two. Yeah, there's a lot going on, Brian.
All right, well, make notes so you don't forget all this stuff.
Well, next Tuesday I'm going to be exhausted because I have.
We're going to do yoga with your baby.
I've got a lot of work coming up.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
tell you all about it. It'll be great.
I can't wait to hear.
Tremendous.
Well, on that's a big tease. Cody is going to have a lot of stories to tell. Keep track on the Facebook page. We will update you as soon as Cody talks to his team of fundraisers. Carol, your idea is in the hopper. I like that. That's
thank you,
I like
Carol.
the bidding war. The shave side is already up to 100, though, just so you know. Mike has already thrown down the gauntlet. And this is for real. This is not a stunt. This is to help the Greater Chicago Food Depository. So, we're all fortunate. We have food. There's people who don't. So let's help them out. We'll see. And if shaving my face will do it, at least a little bit, then we'll figure out some more big stunts. But yes, so keep track of that. Cody, anything else to plug before we head out?
No.
All right.
Actually,
Cody?
I will say, due to production reasons that I'll explain next week, this month there are several episodes of my award-winning science podcast, Curiosity Daily, that I am completely hosting solo.
Oh.
I recorded and produced them all, just me. And frankly, they kick ass.
Nice.
And I love my co-host. I have an enormous amount of respect for her. She just announced on Twitter yesterday that she's expecting
very nice
a baby, not something else. The end of that sentence is a baby. So she's pregnant, which is really exciting. No, Ashley's awesome. But in 4 years of doing the show, I had never had the it was always the two of us. I literally had never done a single solo episode. And so, you've heard me many times with Brian. You've heard me many times with Ashley. If you listen to that show, haven't heard a whole lot of just me. And I worked my butt off to perfect those episodes. And I finished producing them several weeks ago. And then last week it was like Thursday. I'm like, I'm going to listen to Wednesday and Thursday's episodes. And I did. And I was like, I'm happy with this. I like it. I'm much more palatable when I can edit every word that comes out of my mouth,
that's always nice.
I retook 30% of both episodes 3 times and just kept replaced. I'm like, no, I didn't like this. Re-record. It was great. So anyway, check out Curiosity Daily, curiositydaily.com. It's a good time. Very
nice. All right. Do it. CuriosityDaily.com. Check out Cody solo hosting the Curiosity Daily podcast. And this Saturday on the 19th of February, year of our Lord 2022, you can hear me on WTMJ from 4 to 6 p.m. Lots of big things happening next week. Keep track of on the show Facebook page, and we'll let you know what's going on there. Don't forget to tell your friends. Follow us, like, subscribe, follow, touch, talk, whatever it is. Do it all. And I got nothing else. Cody?
I'm good. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll talk to you next week. See ya. Oh, he forgot to do it again.
What did we forget to do?
You always do your bye.
Oh, I'm still texting to try and figure out this big word. But bye.